Well, let's have another installment of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse for Black History Month. And, you know, there was just a lot of great black character actors out there. And a lot of times they are overlooked. And that's why we're doing this, because we don't want to overlook them. And one of them was a very understated actor named Roscoe Lee Brown, who fought in Italy during WW2. And Roscoe brought sort of a quiet dignity to the roles he played. And he's been in films like The Cowboys, Logan's Run, Oliver and Company. But he also was just a fixture in 70s and 80s and 60s TV. Just, you know, a quiet presence on the set. I remember he was in Barney Miller as this hardened criminal that was an escape artist, and they locked him in the cell, and they go to check him out, and he's not in the cell, and he comes out of the bathroom drying his hands, and he goes, I had to use the facilities. So he just brought this like quiet, understated presence to a lot of the roles he played. But I got to pick out one film in particular, which is fucking disturbing. And this is one of those deals where, sort of like Fight for Your Life, I just wanted to get the fuck out of the theater alive because it was so inflammatory and racist at that point, and I didn't realize what I was going to see. I was just drawn in by a poster with a hot black chick being voyeured upon by a white voyeur. Well, the whole deal with Liberation of L.B. Jones was, it was directed by William Wyler, a very prolific director who directed Ben-Hur and The Best Years of Our Lives. And in this, Roscoe Lee Brown plays a very successful mortician down south whose wife is stepping out with him with a white policeman played by Anthony Zerbe. Well, the powers that be really don't like this and are really going to take steps to see that this doesn't become public. And it becomes very racist and very violent at the end because two white cops basically kill the Roscoe Lee Brown character and castrate and mutilate him. At that point, I was pretty much up and headed for the door because this thing was really inflammatory. But that's the one film I do remember. There was other films like The Cowboys, I said, and other things. Roscoe left us in 2007 at age 84. Another guy who was all over the place was Robert Hooks, and he was another one who basically found a home in TV shows, you know, as guest stars. But of course, he was the lead in Trouble Man, and he was in Airport 77. But Trouble Man was like peppered with a lot of other great black character actors. Like, all right, here's one that slipped through the cracks, Felton Perry. Now, Felton Perry was basically, his first role was in Haskell Wexler's Medium Cool in '69, which is another film I gotta get into shortly. He was a militant. Then he was part of an all-star character actor ensemble cast in Brute Corps from 1971, which also co-starred Roy Jensen, Alex Rocco, and a bunch of other things. This is a really mean-spirited, nasty fucking movie, Brute Corps. I was also in Night Call Nurses in 1972. He was Clint Eastwood's partner in Magnum Force in 1973, and of course, with all of Eastwood's partners, he gets killed or shot or something like that. Also, The Towering Inferno, plus he was in all the RoboCop movies too. I believe he is still with us as of this writing. Now, here's a familiar face that started out as a bouncer in New York, but ran into a lot of actors, and they got him into a shitload of blaxploitation films, including Hell Up in Harlem, Friday Foster. One of his first roles was in Slaves in 1969, which I saw in 1969 as the top feature co-billed with Night of the Living Dead. It was in Shaft's Big Score, Superfly, Black Caesar, Live and Let Die, Friday Foster, ton of films. Of course, then he was a fixture on TV also. He passed away in 2004 at age 81. Another unsung, character actor was Paul Winfield. Started in 1965 on the TV show Perry Mason. And again, another guy who did a real lot of TV. What else was he in? He was in Brother John, 1971, Sounder in 72, and Trouble Man in 72, Gordon's War in 73, Hustle in 1975, this really shitty sci-fi movie called Damnation Alley in 1977, and his character was eaten by cockroaches. And this is the line in the film that made the entire theater crack up. George Peppard trying to warn him that we are being surrounded by killer cockroaches. Well, yeah, really fucked up film. He was also in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, The Terminator, and played Captain Dathon in Star Trek The Next Generations on TV. Unfortunately, he passed away after a massive heart attack in 2004 at age 64. That's our show for today. Like I said, I'm trying to dig up guys that really don't get that much mention, because a lot of guys get a lot of mention and they're like sort of, not to say that, they're no good, but they sort of overshadow other cast members. And, the purpose of this, channel and the Black History Month, part of it is to shine some light on some of these great character actors that were all over the place but never really got that huge recognition that they truly deserve. So that's our show for today. Thanks for the new subscribers that tuned in. Thanks for the old subscribers that are hanging in there with my bullshit. And damn, getting toward the middle of the month here, and a lot of stuff's going on. Things are happening, and I will keep you abreast of them as they do happen. Grindhouse Resurrection should be up and running in the next week or so, hopefully. So I might have the proof copy to show you right here. So fingers crossed. So until then, stay safe. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll catch you on the flip side.